Hey everybody, Logan here. Today we're covering another Switch 2 third-party Pro Controller alternative. This time, this one comes from Hori. And if it looks familiar, well, it is. It's the Switch 2 version of the HORIPAD from the Nintendo Switch with a couple of extra bells and whistles. Now, one thing I will mention about this one, when it was originally announced and released on Best Buy's website and a couple of other places, it was listed at $49.99. Now, it dropped the price to $39 before it even released, so you're able to pre-order it, and then, well, now it's cheaper. So I think they did that because PowerA announced theirs at $39.99 with Hall Effect sticks and a couple of other features. So yeah, $39.99 is what you're looking at. It's a wired controller. The only ones I've seen thus far is the Walmart On controllers, and those were 8-bit do knockoffs. They were for 20 bucks. Double the price. Is it worth it? Still less than, actually it's less than half. It would be, half would have been $80, but nope, the Pro Controller from Nintendo's $85. So is this worth it? Let's just find out. Here we go. It is the HORIPAD for the Switch 2. Now let's take a closer look at the box before we open it. Of course, it's pretty simplistic. It says it has turbo function plus 2 programmable buttons. That means flappy paddles in the back. Pretty simple. Turbo, assign button function, and programmable rear buttons, precision analog sticks and buttons. No Hall effect. That's why it's, well, that's why it's $39.99. I actually think it should be $29.99. Here it says black. Makes me wonder if they're going to release other colors in the future. They did that with the previous one, so I don't see any reason why not. Hori releases all kinds of accessories and controllers in different colors for whatever they release it for, so it kind of makes sense. Alrighty, that was not that cool. Okay. It looks better than the original HORIPAD. I will say that. The sticks are nice. A little smooth, but the sticks are nice. When I mean smooth, I mean texture on the stick itself. It has a wider stick top, so stick toppers will not fit on there. Buttons are alright, standard membrane, of course. Now they're much smaller than the standard Switch 2 Pro, but at least with here, you got your standard buttons and your capture. You got the Hori logo. The D-pad's okay. It doesn't have much give. It's a little too, not enough of a press, if that makes any sense. But it's okay. We're going to see how that feels during gameplay. Triggers are alright, pure digital. Feel alright. Now if you look at the back, you've got your 2 rather large flappy paddles. Those are actually more flappy paddle-y than standard back buttons. Now yes, I call all of them flappy paddles because the way, when these things first came out, they actually look like paddles. If you guys remember the original Elite series controller, they had, well, things that look like paddles on the back. That reminded me of the wheel shifters. Like if you've ever been in a muscle car, or a lot of cars now just have the manual shifters on the back, the plus or minus. I always called them flappy paddles because that's what they look like, and I just kind of pulled it over to the controllers, and now it's now my thing. So, and here you have your buttons and settings back there. So that's going to be your turbo assign button, and that's going to be your settings button, which is all right, I guess. It's very light, so without any rumble or NFC or motion, it's a simple controller. There's no reason this should be a $40 controller. There is really no difference between this and the On controller from Walmart. There might be rumble. I don't think so. That just might be a weight in there. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. The box doesn't say anything. Honestly, just looking at this, I would recommend the on controller for half the price. But one thing you notice, all the new third-party controllers don't have a detachable cable. I'm not sure why, but now, hey, we've got another problem. This can only be used docked mode now. So since it has USB type A, you can't plug it into the top of the controller unless you have an adapter. So keep that in mind. I actually have an adapter, so we're going to use that to plug it into the Switch, into the top, so you can see me use it in real time. Yeah, I guess. All right, let's test it. Here we go. I've got it plugged into the top, and as you can see, it comes up. I'm using that little USB Type-C adapter for it. Recognizes it as a Switch 2 Pro controller. That is great. So we are going to load up. I know it's a Switch 1 game. It's Crisis, because it definitely still holds, just like I've done with all my other Switch controllers. Still can test every feature that is necessary for Switch games. So, all right, we got it loading up. Now I will say, you guys didn't see it, but the loading is significantly faster than on the Switch 1. Sticks are quick and responsive. Not much of a dead zone either. Without using the program, you can't see exactly, but you're not going to be using this professional. I will say those, if I'm getting something from maybe 8BitDo or EasySMX or something, I would definitely use controllertest.org to test stuff like that out. But this is a very low-end controller. So it's all right. It's okay. You see the input delay? Not even in the animation. When I would test games on the Switch 1 and do this, it would be much faster. There's actually, you can feel it. So it's all right. Let us take a look. There's no rumble. There's no rumble. That means they've put something in here that's gives it a bit more weight. So I don't think there's any controller settings. Yep, no gyroscope either. So there's nothing. I wouldn't recommend this at $40. I would say only if you want it because it's Hori. Yeah, I would actually recommend buying the Walmart brand for half the price. It has all the same functionality. It's got the turbo. Yeah, it looks and feels like a rip-off 8BitDo, but at least it has rumble, and it's half the price. So if you want a wired standard controller for your Switch, and the buttons don't come pre-mapped, so you're going to have to use those and follow the direction, but honestly, don't. This isn't worth it. Not for $40. And originally for $50, heck no. Yeah, I can't say yes. So at least there's a button down here that says Switch 2 and PC. So if you want to use this, you can actually flop the Switch and use it on PC. But you can get a ton of controllers out there that are a million times better for PC for less price. If you want a wired one, shoot, you can go with any of the GameSir ones. If you want wireless, you can still get a GameSir Nova or Nova 2 Lite or something like that for $30 and get a lot better function and, you know, just a better controller overall. Now, if you don't mind the lack of being able to wake up your console or use the C button, then I would suggest the Nova, the GameSir Nova, or the 8BitDo, anything. But remember, with 8BitDo, you do have to update those before you can use them on your Switch too, so keep that in mind. But otherwise, I would not recommend this just because, you know, you can recognize as a Switch 2 controller. Let me see. Can we do a system wake up? No. Even as a Switch 2 Pro controller, it will not wake up the console. So, is it worth it? Not at all. Don't waste your money. Go with the Walmart brand, the On, for 20 bucks. It does the same thing. Does the same thing. That's what I would suggest. So, sorry, Hori, I cannot, give this a pass. I think this is a bad choice for $40. Again, this feels like a $20 controller at best. You're going to find these at Walmart or Best Buy or Target. Honestly, look to see the other options. Buy a Switch 1 controller. It's pretty much a Switch 1 controller. It's just it's a Switch 1 controller with a capture button. That's it. No. Hard pass. Oh well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. If you have any questions about that controller, drop it in the comment section below, and I'll be glad to answer anything. Thank you guys so much again. God bless. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.